Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Thanks for joining me today and welcome to my sewing layer. I want to share with you a couple of things. Thing number one is my interplay with color, which took me so far outside my comfort level. I'm an accountant by heart, and when I got out of college and was in public accounting, my wardrobe consisted of navy blue, navy blue suits with bow blouses. And if any of you are a certain age as I am, and you will remember those very well. And my wardrobe, even over the many years that I work, and I still work, has not really gained a lot of range, if you will. But I do like red, and red is my power color, so I do enjoy that. But outside of that, I'm very fine with white and dark navy and black. So going into the ColourPop range is a stretch for me, and you bring your color preferences, I think, over to your quilting. At least I've found that to be so. So my goal was to kind of break out of that range, but to continue to work on a project that I have a lot of love for, which are these compound Lemoyne stars, as I call them. And I like to also bring over from my regular life into quilting life my never pay retail mantra. So I buy most of my fabric through Hancocks of Paducah, and my goal is to, number one, buy the best fabric I can find at the cheapest price. So I wait for closeouts. I constantly scavenge their fat quarter bundles and have gotten some really fantastic deals. I also look for the buy more and save. So if there is a wonderful fabric that I can get by buying 15 yards at $3.99, I get it, because at 15 yards, that if it's a beautiful fabric, you can use that as quilt backing, and that goes very quickly. So that's my approach to things. And part of that approach meant that I bought their mystery Kaufman Kona Solid bundles. Now, these bundles mean that you do not get to pick what they are, but they give you ample fabric. This is all in one bundle. I don't know how much this is, but it's certainly a yard. I would use this color. It's in my muted range, and very similar to that Soho sale from Timeless Treasures. Here's another fabric, and yet another. And you'll see where I'm going with this. All right, here's a celery. I don't know what I would use that for, but keep that in mind. Here's a brown. Here's a green, a lavender, orange, neon yellow, neon yellow green. Here's a blue military green. Here's a royalish blue, and this is a kind of a cranberry fabric. And I have more. I bought actually several of these bundles. Here's another blue. Here's a crazy purple. Okay, and here's my color here. Here is just the most beautiful, lustrous, I would call it black, but it's more like a very dark charcoal. Here's something that it's a gray, but I can tell that it has some violet in it. Wow, look how pretty it looks with this color. And then again, another hue of gray. Again, and you can see how nuanced. These are all really quite nuanced gray. So why am I showing you this stuff? Well, you might say, well, geez, that's not much of a value if you've got those crazy, goofy colors that no sane person would ever use. Well, one of those colors is this. And I have a ton of fat quarters with some really crazy colors in it. And I'm showing you yet another one of my blocks, which is this. And I don't have a full piece of it. Oh, I have just a strip because I was cutting this into 1.5-inch strips. Here's the strip of that fabric. Let me just get it close. Okay, look how crazy. Would you ever put those colors together? Well, the fabric designer did, and frankly, it's pretty darn cool. So all of the colors that I just showed you would go pretty well, and that's what I did. I chose this burnt orange, and I also had this blue. This is the blue strip that I used for these little diamonds. And the purpose of my showing this to you is for any of you who are reticent colorway what do I want to say, pilgrims. I'm a reticent colorway pilgrim. This is really a great way to get out of your rut. And like, what would I do with this fabric? Well, the very first thing that I thought is, wow, how cool would it to put these on point with a dark fabric such as this. Yes, you will have a quilt that maybe 3 people will love. And I would love this. I actually would think that this is so cool together, and that's probably what I'm going to do. And so my goal on this quilt is to make a colorway quilt and find weird stuff in my stash and put it into these blocks. Now hold tight, I'm going to show you something else. Though they no longer do so, Amazon used to have Free Spirit mystery fat quarter bundles. These were the most spectacular value in the whole wide world. They were 20 fat quarters from Free Spirit designers, 20 fat quarters for a whopping $22. So over the course of several months, I bought these fat quarter bundles. So I was able to accumulate some beautiful William Morris prints, in addition to a William Morris fat quarter bundle that I bought from someplace else, but I got it on closeout and got a spectacular deal. But what I ended up with, and you have to determine your comfort level with getting weird fabric, but this is where the Kaufman solids come in. So I had this fabric, kind of, it's really kind of strange, but what can I pair it with? Well, I can pair it with this, all right, that, beautiful blue that came, and look at that. And I normally wouldn't put these colors together, but a designer already has. Now, granted, that's a little different color blue, but in a quilt, those hues would be really quite compatible. So for any of you that have fat quarters that are maybe not something that you feel like you could use, then again, I implore you to consider that these beautiful compound, look, I'm a drug pusher again, these beautiful compound diamonds allow you to use what Bonnie Hunter, I think, said. I've heard it quoted. I don't know if I've heard her say it, is that, any ugly fabric is beautiful if you cut it small enough. Well, these are 1.5-inch strips, and you can just do little pops of color, and you can create something, I think, very extraordinary with it.